I don't care what the news is telling you about NVIDIA, its price action is stuck and defined right here. Now, there are two things that we need to be aware of for NVIDIA. The first thing is the fact that there is a bigger range above us, and there is a smaller range obviously below us, okay? Now, with the smaller range being below us, we can use this as the most important range for right now. So with that being said, the ideal scenario for the next few days or the next day or so is going to be the fact that we come all the way back down to this prior low, okay? Now in that situation, we are looking at this in the terms of the swing pivot being this high and essentially looking at it rotating now underneath. So we should find some support right around this 183 level. Now once we get down there, just be aware that the prevailing momentum is bearish, so you are going to need a substantial effort to get us in the reversal. And that substantial effort comes in a twin variation in which we look to buy going back up to this prior high, okay? So this is the preferred overall pathway. And quite honestly, I would like NVIDIA to gap down in tomorrow's session, making things a whole lot easier in terms of buying. Now, if we gap down too far, if we crash all the way down into the lows right around 180, then yes, that will change the thought process to now switching to bearishness, okay? Because the momentum is clearly now a lot more bearish than what it was at the end of today's session. But we can definitely be nimble, which is why we are day traders. So just be aware that the green case scenario as we return back up is the preferred variation. But again, don't let the market fool you. If it does crash, we need to switch game plans. All right? Now, other than that, everyone, is there a direct path going higher? I'd like to say yes, there is, because the first range that we talked about earlier on here is still very much so important. Now, if we clone this really quickly, both above and below to get our deviations, you'll see that the supportive structure is somewhere right here. And our resistance structure is going to be somewhere right here, okay? Now, based just purely on the fact that we are essentially in a nested range, you can see that we are still basically in support. And with that being said, we would be looking for a move to go back up to the upside. So if we do break above and go directly higher, this is the key level you need to be aware of, this 187. If we break directly going higher to 187, chances are far more likely now that the market's going to reverse where it stands right now and continue to rotate back up to the upside. Now, in this very, very bullish situation, just be aware, like we talked about earlier, the full distance underneath this range, which is right about here, is what you're going to be looking to capture as the market rotates to the upside. So have no fear if you miss out some of the opportunities, because the market is going to be looking to reverse all the way back up to 194, giving you ample time to get in. Thanks for watching. See you on the next candle.